You too. I was watching a trucking channel, and I've been hearing more and more about, like, what can we do to turn things around, to get the rates back up, you know, to get trucking as a whole out of the pit that it's in. And a lot of folks are saying, well, what we need to do is all come together and stop running freight for a couple weeks, and then people will realize how much they need us and they'll be forced to pay us. Other people are saying, which we hear all the time, well, if we just stop, taking the cheap freight, which, let's be fair, let's be honest, there's always going to be someone who is willing to take that freight because their expenses are lower and they can afford to do it, or they're headed in that direction, or blah, 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 rah, rah, rah. I myself, as you guys know, I am not an owner-operator. I am a company driver. I think it would be foolish of me to get into, an owner-operator situation with the way trucking is right now. However, if I were to get into an owner-operator situation in trucking at this juncture in this day and age, I can assure you that the only way for that to be possible would be to buy a truck outright. Buy a truck. If you're paying truck payments right now with the way the rates are, you can't afford to stop running. You cannot afford to say no. You can't. You have that truck payment every month, and I mean, what choice do you have? So they've got you by the short and curlies, basically, right? And the way that I see it, there's insurance rates are going up. What's this new proposition I hear? Something to the effect of increase in liability rates. They want to increase the liability, liability to $5 million or something crazy. I mean, if that happens, I don't even know. Like, I couldn't even tell you what that would do to the majority of carriers, independent contractors, yada yada. We used to, back, let's say 15, 20 years ago, you would see a Walmart come into town. It doesn't matter what town. Walmart comes in and all the little businesses around start to close, right? Can't compete. The same thing is happening in trucking. There's a handful of quote-unquote mega carriers, and they are bound and determined to gobble up the largest portion of the trucking market. They're going to gobble it all up like fat little pigs they are, and they're going to squeeze the independent contractor, the independent owner-operator, the small carriers. They're going to squeeze them completely out of business. That is the modus operandi, right? That is their MO. That is what they, and I made a short video about it, I guess it was a couple weeks back or whatever, and I said, I would really be reluctant to go to a smaller carrier at this point. Not that I would, like, because I would prefer to work for a smaller carrier. to be honest. I would. But the reason that I would hesitate, unless it was like a specialized carrier. Let's just say, for instance, if it was like float work, oversized permitted loads, that's all you do. Or let's say maybe pertaining to like flatbed work, it would be maybe like working for a crane company, for instance, right? Specialized freight, where you have to have a skill in order to haul the freight. The driver must possess a certain skill set in order to haul the freight. Then I would consider going to a smaller company. But you gotta love it when they just kind of yank right in front of you, right? You gotta love that. And thank you to all of you Nimrods, all of you shoeless, seatbelt, reflective vest wearing individuals out there. Thank you for your unprofessionalism and your inability to be courteous to other drivers. I appreciate you. But where was I? Oh yes, specialized freight. And I'll even go a step further and say, those of you who are pulling a van, okay, and you are doing line haul work, right, where you're pulling from a yard to another yard, dropping hook, let's say FedEx, let's say what's the Brown company and the other company and the Expos and all of these LTL drop and hook guys, okay? I would go so far as to say your time in this industry is limited. If you are not providing manual labor in your job of trucking, I'm not going to say when, I'm not going to speculate, and I'm not going to tell you I know for sure. But my theory, my thought, what my take is, those jobs are going away. They are going away. If you're the driver that's going up and down in an interstate, straight line up and down, every day, go home at night, those jobs are going away. They will become automated. I mean, listen, if you would have told me that 5 years ago, I'd say there ain't no way. There ain't no way. But the fact of the matter is, with the way technology is headed, where we're headed, I mean, that is the future. So my suggestion would be to anyone who wants to have any type of job security in the trucking industry, you must possess a skill set outside of driving up and down the road. The days of going up the road 500 miles, getting out, walking the 50 feet to the back of your trailer, opening up your doors and putting it in a dock and doing that over and over, those days are coming to an end quicker than you might recognize, quicker than you would like to think they are, and much quicker than anybody's going to expect, because it's just the technology's there, right? It is. You can't argue with it. So, I mean, yeah, these rail yards. That's a perfect example. I mean, all you have to do is go into some of these factories now and watch these robots, feed the line. They feed the line. There's no such thing in some of these plants you go into anymore. Lift truck drivers, forklift drivers, it ain't happening. They got robots. They just go up, they pick it up, they go down the road, I mean, that's what they do, right? A lift truck driver, gone. Truck driver without a specific skill set, without providing manual labor, gone. And it's a, you know, I personally am very unsure of where the future of trucking is headed. I would say if you truly enjoy trucking, if it's something that you plan on doing for the next 20 years or more, move into something that is going to, provide you with that future you're looking for. Don't say I didn't tell you so. You know, I know I'm probably going to catch some heat in the comment section because nobody wants to be told that their job is going to become irrelevant. Nobody wants to be told they're replaceable. Right? Nobody wants to hear that shit. I don't. And if I was still, you know, if I was still pulling a dry van, not that I pulled a van in general, I pulled reefer. If I was still doing that job, I mean, yeah, I'd be very concerned. Because, you know, I'm not in any position to retire in the next 10 years. I'm just not, right? I'm not in a position to do it. So yeah, I got to ask myself, how can I secure my position in what I do? And it would most definitely be finding a skill outside of just going up and down the road in a straight line, as it were. What do they call them? Steering wheel holders? You know who you are. Steering wheel holder. You know, the guys and gals that can't back into a spot at the truck stop, right? You know, you see them on the side of the ramps and, you know, taking their 10-hour break because they're afraid to go into the truck stop. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, get it while it's still here. But the problem is that I was going to say get it while the getting's good, but the getting ain't good, right? It's just not. The getting is like, I mean, ugh, it's disgusting. I mean, these big mega carriers like Swift and Knight and Werner, these guys, they're not even renewing their contracts. Their contracted freight, they're going pass. I pass on that. I pass. I don't want it because they're looking to lock you in at these rates where they're like, what did Knight say they lost? Like, I don't even know what it was, like a couple $2-3 million in the first quarter of this year. Why would they lock themselves into a freight rate and for a whole nother year when they're losing like $2-3 million in the first quarter? What can we do to turn this thing around? Well, I can tell you, as the industry as a whole, will never come together. Never. It will never come together. There's too many people with their own ideas of how things should be. It's actually quite disgusting. It just makes me kind of throw up in my mouth a little bit. The fundamental attitude of this industry is just so cutthroat. It's just so cutthroat. I mean, it's gross, man. It's just gross. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We can't compete with folks who are making an American or a Canadian dollar right? A North American dollar, and living 6-8 people to a house, and then sending their money over to India and Central America. Yeah, we can't compete. We can't compete with that shit, man. Right? So, I mean, well, they're just like, like hyenas, right? They're just over here like, you don't want it? I'll fucking take it. Fuck you. I come to America for the land of opportunity. You know? Like, I mean, you come from a country where, they're shitting in the street. They literally drop trow in the street, take a shit. Right? They got no indoor plumbing. They've got, they're animals, basically. Animals. Right? And then they come over here. Do you expect them to behave differently? They're not going to. And they're just salivated. They're just looking for a chance to just, and I mean, and it just shows, right? Where is the industry? It's in the fucking toilet. Talk about shit. That's where the industry is. Hey, you can say whatever you want about, hey, driver's lounge. That's very racist. You can't say that. That's very that you can't say. Well, I mean, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. When you're involved in an industry that requires zero education and next to zero experience, right? This is the kind of garbage. This is the kind of nonsense that you're gonna be left dealing with. There's zero barrier to entry. Are you familiar with that term? Barrier to entry? What's the barrier to entry in the trucking business? Sweet fuck all. Ding, 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 ding. Sweet fuck all. You don't have to speak English. You don't have to read English. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to have any experience. You don't have to have any money. Am I lying? Tell me I'm lying. There's people that they literally can't afford to get to orientation. Now, how am I going to get to orientation? Well, I don't know, drive? Well, I don't own a car. Well, I guess take a fucking plane? I can't afford a plane. Well, take a fucking Greyhound? I can't afford a Greyhound. So they pay you to go to the orientation. You get in the truck. You don't have two fucking nickels to rub together. You don't have any education. You don't have any experience. You can barely speak English. And you want people with multi-million-dollar businesses to take us seriously. Really? Go like this. Give your fucking head a shake. It's a joke, man. Yeah. This industry's a joke. And again, not everyone, but the majority of what's going on out here is laughable. It is. It's laughable. It's like, I mean, go up and down the road and it's just like, it's just complete silliness. Complete nonsense. And you ask yourself, well, do I really want to be part of this? I guess I am. I guess I don't know how much more I'm willing to put up with out here before I just go, shit. I don't need this, man. Because again, I've said it before. I know there's other industries, but this industry not many industries where your professional, what you do on a professional clock can absolutely impact your ability to live your life outside of your job. And I'm talking about your license. You know, I put my license on the line, my driver's license on the line every single day I'm out here. And if something, you know, catastrophic should happen, it doesn't even have to be catastrophic. Something happens where, you know, I get caught up and something happens and all of a sudden now I can't even drive my own personal vehicle. Right? I can't even drive my own personal vehicle because of what I was doing. How many jobs are like that? Do you have a job? Let me know in the comments. Do you have a job where what takes place at your job influences your life when you go home? Or has the ability to impact your life, when your personal life? Let me know what jobs are out there that are like that. So I'm going to leave you with that one for today. I would appreciate some feedback like usual. I do appreciate the comments. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. It's not always this serious. It's not always this doom and gloom around the Driver's Lounge, but that's the reality of what's going on out here. And I fail to see it any other way. Driver's Lounge, over and out.